The final movie we watched this week was Nico's pick, that being the 1967 film, The Graduate.
That's right. This is the coming-of-age film featuring Dustin Hoffman playing a mentally inept college graduate who gets with the mom he'd like to fuck of the girl he'd like to fuck, and hilarity ensues.
Fun fact, and this one's for Jackson.
Oh boy.
Ben's car is a 1966 Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo Spider 1600.
Yeah, right. The first
Dude, I
time
knew
it's
that. I'm pretty sure I asked Nico what that car was in the middle of the movie and told him.
And then Nico turned around and said, well, Jackson, dearest, that's a 1966 Alfa Romeo Spider 1600.
It is unfortunately pronounced Romeo.
It is Romeo.
What?
Yeah.
That's fucking retarded.
Anyways, I'll kick us off. I'm at a B.
Okay. I was gonna kick us off, but alas, I suppose. Guys, it's not often that I get to be the one who takes a drastically different position than the rest of you, but this time around, I liked this movie a lot. I'm giving it an S-.
Oh my god.
Wow. Very interesting.
You're very excited to hear about that.
I'm in between a C+ and a B-.
Huh.
What a hater, man.
Oh boy, just you wait. Yeah, I think this movie was kind of boring and whatever. I gave it a C-.
Okay, so look. This is a pre-70s film, and generally older films do not have a great track record with a good number of us, as we can obviously see here. But I'm shocked at how well this film stood the test of time. Like, there's a lot that people talk about in regards to this film. This is a very beloved film. You guys are going to be crucified. However, other people tend to talk about, like, the themes and such of the film, about, like, you know, the way in which it portrays young adulthood and drifting through life. Not knowing what you want to do, but, like, Dustin's character in this movie was so cartoonish that none of those elements really worked for me. The fact of the matter is that this film is a fucking riot, and the funniest film that we have seen in any of our reviews. I was just fucking dying throughout it.
Glad to hear it, yes. I don't know, I unfortunately compared his character to that of the Rayman from Rain Man.
You're not the first to do so.
He just acted the same. Listen, dude. I was watching again. I was watching this film with Jackson.
We were all watching
remember
it together.
pretty early on. I'm like, oh damn, you're right. We all did watch it together. I watched this so long ago, dude. I can't remember anything. I remember calling the fact that, dude, they're for sure gonna play Mrs. Robinson when I found out that there was a wife named Mrs. Robinson and that she wanted an affair. I called that shit so early, and what do you know? They played it. Not at the best time, and not in the way I think they should have, but by golly, it was there. This movie's kind of whatever. I get the messaging. I see what Nico's trying to say. It just didn't work on me. It was very boring and a... Like,
how could you be bored by this film, though? It was fucking hilarious.
It's just awkward, dude. I don't...
Yes, that's what's so funny about it.
I'm glad you just find awkwardness funny. I don't find awkwardness funny. I think if you're an awkward person, you don't really find awkwardness as funny. I'm an awkward person. As people... You're clearly not, or not as much as I am. I think you derive enjoyment from other people's awkwardness and dilemmas. I don't.
This is such a funny argument that's happening right now.
You're awkward. No, I'm not. I'm also awkward.
Yeah, Exhibit A. But regardless, I don't know. It's just... It was too much of a slow burn. It wasn't super engaging. It was fine. Like, I did chuckle a few times, but to say I was busting out laughing would just be a total lie. I don't think this movie was all that funny, quite frankly.
Yeah, I didn't think it was all that funny either. Like, I'm not opposed to awkward humor or whatever. I just think that for the runtime, I wasn't laughing often enough. My other problem with this film, especially, was like the second half. I think once the daughter gets introduced, I think the more dramatic element and them like exploring the themes kind of goes to the wayside, and I find it way less interesting. And the ending especially I thought was really rushed, and I wasn't a huge fan of it.
The ending was so funny,
Bad
though.
ending, dude. Oh my god. It's not, dude. It's awful. I hated the ending. Oh
and
my
the
gosh.
fucking daughter coming in explores some separate things about like he's been drifting through life. He doesn't know what the fuck he wants to do, but now he's finally found that one thing. The one thing he says this multiple times. He's found the one thing that actually brings him happiness since he graduated. The one thing that he's figured out what he wants to do, and he wants to be with her, and so he's willing to do whatever it takes in order to pursue that. And in the end of the film, he rushes her down. He's finally able to find her in the church. He fucking gets her out of there. He knocks people down. He's willing to do whatever it takes. And then they get on that bus and they're driving away and they're like, hell yeah, we fucking did it. We really showed them. We're gonna be happy together now. And it slowly sets in. Hang on. What the fuck did I just do? And it's great. It just ends there as the sound of silence begins to take effect once more.
Very funny.
Honestly, their use of that song was funnier
Exactly,
than any
it
of
was
the
so
jokes
funny that it was
to
in
me.
this film.
I don't think that's the intention, though. I think I don't know if you could praise it given that
I don't
wasn't
care
the
if it's the intention or not. I have been a staunch defender of the death of the author idea.
That's fair enough. Yeah, one of the problems I have with what you've been saying is like, one thing is like the daughter character is not fleshed out at all. I don't really understand why she's running away with this guy.
Because she's kind of being forced into a marriage she doesn't want.
Anything, frankly.
Dude, they're childhood
I
friends.
guess.
They've been friends since childhood. Isn't that like the key to every
Have
relationship
they?
in these movies? I don't know.
I don't think they ever said anything like that.
That's the idea I got from the movie.
No, I don't.
They
think
went to
that's
high
the
school
case at
together.
all. Did they?
Yeah, he said that I haven't seen her since high school or something like that at one point. But it was so funny
okay.
that the reason she's so weird around him and avoiding him after she like returns to college is because her mom said that he raped her. And then when he tells, and then when he fucking
crazy.
says, no, that's not true, she's like, oh, okay. She's just fine with it after that.
Yeah, I don't think she's a very good character. My big positives, I agree with Nico on the themes that it's exploring and whatnot, and I'll especially shout out Mrs. Robinson's performance. I think she's the standout character for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, she's where the term cougar originated from.
Holy
Is that true?
smokes.
Yeah, that's real. We see constantly throughout the film that, you know, just like her actions, she's obviously being very predatory towards him, as well as like she's always like decked out in like fucking animal garb, and like they have a fucking like jungle area of their house.
Huh.
It's fantastic.
I guess that's fair, dude. Dude, did you know they also wrote Mrs. Robinson for this movie?
That's true, actually.
Oh, did they actually? I totally...
No, it's not true.
Thank God.
Dude, Nico, I can't believe you would lie to me. The term cougar didn't start popping up until 1999.
Yeah, but they got it from this film.
Nah, I don't think that's true at all.
Given the fact that he just lied to me, I would not be shocked if that also was not true. It's his favorite pastime. Anyway, Jackson, you've said nothing about this movie. What say you?
Yeah, I think some of the awkward humor worked on me. I agree. I think a lot of the problems I have with this is mostly just the believability of it. Like, I don't understand what the fuck any of these people see with this actual retard at all. Like, he's kind of funny, but like I don't really know what else there is about it other than that. And this is just like a pure comedy. I think some of it's funny. I think other parts are kind of whatever and boring. I do agree. I'm not a crazy big fan of the latter half with him pursuing the woman in college. I think the resolution is silly, but like, I don't know. It's just kind of, you know, it's fine. It's a fine comedy for me. I don't really have a crazy amount to say about it. The performances are okay. You know, I think I agree with the cougar mom being the best standout performance here.
Oh, yeah.
I like when the landlord just tells him, I don't like you, leave now.
He says it twice, too. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why he didn't enforce it the first time. Like, okay. Very
Why
cool,
do you even
I
let
guess.
this fucker live in here in the first place?
Yeah, he's supposed to be like a fucking frat house for like college kids, and he's like, oh, well, I'm not studying here. And he's like, well, what are you doing here? And he's like, oh, I'm visiting. I'm like, that's not how frat houses work. But whatever, movie needs to happen, I guess.
So, boys, is that all we have to say about The Graduate?
Yeah.
Fantastic. I am unwavering in my S-.
You live your best life, King. I believe in you.
We love you for that. Yeah, I'm not changing my B.
Tanner?
Man, that's tough on which of my two I want to go with. I'll go with the higher of my two and say B minus.
Holy smokes. I am also a changed man after this. I may have been a little too harsh on the movie, and upon reviewing my other movies, I'll go ahead and throw it into C plus for you, Nico.
It's a pretty big change, and it lands at a B plus overall. Another one to the pile.
Of course
Two
it
B plus movies
does.
this week. Holy shit, that's funny.